Let this video be your permission to be that person now. What's going on, everybody? It's Noah. And in today's episode of The Rise Method, I want to talk about a really fascinating topic. It's really got me fired up today. And I was listening to an Aaron Doughty video earlier. I'll link to it here. And it's about this very topic, too, of quantum jumping. Okay, quantum leaping. This quantum leap strategy. Now, there's a book that also discusses this. It's called U Squared. I highly recommend you get this book. It's like a pamphlet, basically. It's like 40 pages. It's really small, but really, really dense in information and wisdom. And you would expect that from something discussing quantum leaping, because quantum leaping is incredibly simple and yet incredibly profound. And that's typically the case, right? That the simplest truths, Occam's razor, the simplest truths are usually the most profound and effective. So I want to talk to you about that. Quantum leaping, quantum jumping timelines, and achieving exponentially more by doing exponentially less, achieving results at an exponential rate, okay? Achieving far more than you ever could have imagined. It's quite amazing. And if this age of artificial intelligence and quantum systems, quantum technologies can reveal to you anything, it's that we're no longer bound by this understanding that life behaves in this linear fashion. It doesn't. And this whole page and the Rise method itself, this work, okay, is premised really on this quantum leaping strategy. It's premised on the technology of belief, the psychotechnology of belief. That's a cool term. Because to the degree that you believe in your shift now, you release any unnecessary resistance, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. So if you have been focusing on all the reasons why you shouldn't start something, why you shouldn't do something, boom, your external is going to give that to you. Your external is reflecting back to you your internal state at any given moment. So you use that as a teacher to show you, okay, how am I showing up right now? What am I believing for this to be happening, for this to be true? And so you can go within and shift the belief, the state of being, and you will achieve exponentially more by doing exponentially less. There's a very prominent entrepreneur that has blown up on social media as of recently. And his story is one of a lot of hard work and grinding, which appeals to a lot of people. He has this narrative of basically needing to have and do first before you can be that version of yourself. And the thing about belief is that as you believe, you receive. Your external will reflect that back to you. If you believe that you need to work hard and to grind to make results happen, boom, you're going to have to force and strain your way and overcome challenges. And there's a certain romance in that, especially, that appeals to this hero's journey in a sense of overcoming challenges and striving. And so we're attracted to that because evolutionarily that's what we know. That's what we've known for so long, and we've seen that story again and again. And it will always remain. It's an eternal archetypal pattern in one sense, but you can change the battleground, change the level of that playing field. Okay, because when you take it in here and realize that it's ultimately happening in here to create all of this is reflecting what's happening in here, that's how you quantum jump, that's how you quantum leap. If you change the belief, the narrative that you've been running off of. You change your perception, and the things you look at change, the circumstances change, opportunities open up that you may not have seen them before, insights come through that you may not have thought of before. Because previously you were focused on worry, you were focused on how you're going to make money, you were focused on where your next paycheck's going to come from, you were focused on how no one's in your life, how there's no romance in your life right now. You were focused on how there's no clients, no one's wanting to work with you. And so boom, that came to you. That's what appeared, and that's what was laid before you. And so this quantum leap takes place when you take that playing field and bring it to the internal state and bring it to the internal playing field. Because this is the source of all manifestation for you, for me, for all of us. Okay, you are in your universe. I'm a reflection to you in your universe, just as you are a reflection to me in my universe. And it's revealing to us what we believe to be true and what beliefs we're holding on to that may need to be released so we can have everything that we desire. Okay, and going back to that hustle and grind mentality, needing to always work hard and overcome, that is a product, again, of wanting to and believing ultimately that you need to have X amount of resistance to get X amount of results. You have to put more in to get more out. 1 + 1 = 2. It's a very linear way of thinking. But nature abides by the principle of least resistance. Nature operates by the mode of least resistance. Not the principle of zero resistance. It's not that we never have resistance. It's not that we wouldn't want resistance. Resistance makes the process meaningful too. Overcoming and releasing those limiting beliefs. It's through that process that we come to really appreciate and cherish the thing that we really want. That resistance is part of the process, but it's the principle of least resistance. So you choose the right resistance with which you want to engage, and you can make exponential gains. You can achieve exponentially more than if you're just taking on resistance for resistance sake and you're believing that you need to feel that way. That's how it has to be successful. Because at the end of the day, you're the one creating that story. You're the one creating that narrative, and you have this technology that's available to you. It's the same technology that's creating that narrative of hard work, of unnecessary force. The same technology that's creating that can also create ease and flow and quantum leaps. Coming to mind, there's a passage from the Old Testament where God says, I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. That's what we're talking about. The same technology, okay, that makes it seem like it has to be a linear, step-by-step, slow, incremental process. Okay, it's the same technology that you can utilize, you can shift to create instantaneously the results you seek, to create them and manifest them at a rate exponentially faster than you could have ever imagined, quicker than you ever could have imagined. But it's the degree to which you believe in that. It's the degree to which you believe that you are what you desire, profess yourself to be. Because that's going to determine the rate and the degree to which you're going to take action in alignment, and you're going to think thoughts and feel feelings in alignment with that version of yourself. Because it's the thinking, the feeling, and the behaving, right, that's ultimately creating our external, because that comes back to who we're being, right? The beingness, the beliefs create all of those, the thoughts, the feelings, and the behaviors to then create the results. And not to mention the synchronicities, the coincidences that come about when we make that shift and when we imprint that belief at a subconscious level. When we actually hold that and store that in our physiology and make that shift, that we're whole now, that we're healed now, that we're prosperous now, that we have access to the resources now, instilling that at the level of the subconscious, and I'm coming down into the body because the body is the storehouse of the subconscious. So when we can feel into that and believe that at a physiological level, not to say that other patterns won't come up and there won't be that resistance, right? It's the path of least resistance. But when we can tap into the subconscious, that subconscious is connected and collective to everyone and everything around us. You know, we're talking about the quantum world here. There's this thing called quantum entanglement, right? Where particles that are spans, light years away from each other are actually entangled with one another, interact with each other. And to relate that back to this quantum strategy, situating yourself in the thoughts and the feelings of who you're desiring to be now sends that electromagnetic signature out into the quantum field, okay, to make that shift instantaneously. And that is as simple as making the decision to do it now. So, like I said at the beginning, let this video be permission for you to be that now. Okay? And something else about this and choosing that path of least resistance is that you'll hear teachers, you'll have reflections, external voices that are appearing to you that have their own stories, okay, of how they became successful, how they gotten to where you may want to be. And what you want to recognize, and I'm included in that if you're listening to me, is my story is my story, your story is your story. There's this space of infinite variations in the quantum field. okay, infinite lifelines on which we can jump or shift onto that work for us, for our given beliefs and our programming and our desires. That path is your path to walk down. Now, I can help you on that. Others can help you on that, give you inspiration, give you motivation. But when it comes to when it comes from a place of, you're listening to someone speak and it's causing more resistance, or you're feeling, let's say, discouraged, remember that there's a space of infinite variations, and you want to utilize the external in such a way that it's working for you. Use it as a teacher of how to shift, what beliefs need to be released, or as confirmation of the change that you seek. This confirmation that you are already that version now. Those are the two ways that you utilize the external. Use it to your advantage. Life is happening for you. You create that for yourself. Perceive the external right now, wherever you're at in your life, in such a way that it's either teaching you or it's confirming you the change that you've professed to yourself right now. I believe that, and I see that for you right now in this moment. Let yourself be that now. Let yourself have that now. Let yourself decide, make the decision to cast off the old man and adopt the new man now. The moment you do that, you quantum jump. So again, thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Leave any comments below about quantum jumping, quantum leaping. If you have any questions or any resources you'd like to provide, experiences with this, I'd love to hear from you. There's additional resources below as well. Apply to work with me. Check out the free Rise community on School. You can hop in there. It's a collection of conscious, mission-driven individuals looking to optimize their health, their business, their relationships, all facets of their life, and coming together in the vision whereby we've already attained that which we desire. Because when you get into a container where a collective group of people are seeing you in that and can see the reflection of that in you now, that leads and only fosters more of that exponential growth. So be sure to check that out as well. Thank you so much for being here. Love you so much. Until next time, let's rise.